be an Avon Eagle?
It means work hard, go the extra mile, and care about your teammates.
Getting up at 5 a.m., dirty dozens, all that. How do you stay motivated for that?
It's all about the end goal. So everyone wants to get as far as you can in the season. Even if you're not going to be one of the starters, you're always there motivating your teammates. So it's all about motivation, trying to get your teammates up and working towards that end goal.
How much has that changed you as a person and made you feel better and prepared you for life?
I started playing sophomore year, so I was kind of a loner, didn't really have many friends in high school. But sophomore year, started playing football, kind of got into it. But junior year is really where I started making friends, started getting social, and it really helped me throughout the high school.
How excited are you for your senior year?
I'm very excited. It's going to be a fun ride.
What's it going to take to make it a successful year for the team?
A lot of hard work. We're going to have to be very fast to the ball on defense. I haven't really seen much of our offense, but I think we're looking really good, technically sound. We all hustle.
Who's your favorite coach?
Oaks and Gunnell, probably. Oaks because he's been my coach for the last 3 years, and Gunnell this year really helped me with my run fits, make sure I'm not gap hopping, watching the guard pulls, just learning all about the linebacker position.
If you were a superhero, who would you be?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Deadpool?
What?
I don't know, he's just funny, witty. I think that's kind of what I want to be. A little bit of funny, a little bit of witty.
What flavor ice cream would you be?
Peanut butter cup. I like peanut butter cups.
If you were pizza, what toppings would you have?
Bacon, banana pepper, and pepperoni. That's my go-to. A little bit of spice, you know?
Yeah?
A little bit of spice. Not too much, though.
An ultimate teammate, ultimate team guy who is there for his teammates through thick and thin, who's done everything that's been asked of him throughout his 4 years here in this program, has always shown up for his teammates, has shown up for others. And if you ever pay attention on a Friday or Saturday game, he's the guy on the sidelines trying to get everybody hyped up, trying to bring some energy and juice for our guys on the field.
That's what I noticed. I mean, he is like the #1 hype guy on the sideline. How important is that to have a player like that?
It's great. We talk about being engaged and being a star in your role. And Kieran, if he's the guy on the sideline being a star in his role with the sideline guys, he's getting them fired up, and getting some energy and getting some noise so our guys on the field can get that energy going. When you're on the field, you don't think you hear it. But when you hear your teammates and you hear them going crazy, and you look over and see the sidelines going crazy, it just gives you that little bit extra to dig down and play harder.
And when I've seen him on the field on Saturday mornings too, especially playing linebacker, he's fierce out there.
He comes downhill, understands his assignments, and when he strikes you, he can put a good hit on you.
And how about striking a ball with his foot too?
He's ended up being one of our JV punters, which we found by accident. We were punting one day and it wasn't going so well on a Saturday, and we were looking around going, gosh, look at our roster. Who else do we have to punt here? Because we have some younger punters, but it was the day that we had 2 JV games, and it just happened that every one of them went to the other game, and we had to find somebody in pregame. And so he comes up and says, hey, Coach, I punted rugby. I said, okay, well, if we can punt a ruggy ball, we can punt a football. And I said, you feel good doing this? And he said, sure. And I go, well, at halftime, we're going to do this. So we gave him a snap, and he punted one, and he said he closed out the game of rugby, so we let him be our JV punter to close out games in JV too.
How does that feel when you just find a skill of a kid that you didn't even know? Yeah?
Well, it's a very satisfying feeling, and a feeling of what the heck is wrong with us as coaches, that we didn't find it sooner, or that we didn't identify that, hey, he does play rugby and he does have another skill set that we could use for this team.
He started football later in his career. Was a kid that when he first came out, I wasn't sure what his why and purpose was. You know, I thought maybe this kid just wanted to belong, and I wasn't sure he'd stick around, to be honest with you, because he got a late start in the program. But honestly, he's another example of someone who shows up, does the work you ask him to do, and continue to grow as a player, and is a really good teammate. You know, he's someone who, if kids need something, he's there. If he's injured and isn't able to play, which he's gone through some injuries, first one to say, hey, what can I do to help? I'll film, I'll do whatever you ask me to do. So he's a selfless individual who's fallen in love with the game of football. And initially I wasn't sure. I think he has some sailing background, and so you usually don't get that guy who's a sailor along with being a football player. But he's made it work because he's certainly turned himself into a good player.
He's got that juice flowing. You talked about the energy, but how much does that help?
Yeah, I mean, we were in a 7-on-7 this year against Warren Harding, and it was a 3-way 7-on-7, so Harding was not on the field, and things started getting a little chippy. The Harding players were standing like right behind me as I'm calling some plays on offense, and I turn around and Kieran is having a conversation with the kid from Warren Harding who's using profanity and swearing, and Kieran's just simply looking at him saying, hey, why don't you just go stand over there with your teammates? And then I turned around to try to, stopped the conversation. And he's like, Coach, I don't understand why he has to be standing here. He should be over there with his team. And so he was enforcing, the rules and the logic of what we needed to do in that moment. But he definitely has a little fiery side to him.
Those got a fun side too. I remember the FCA event with John Hay and Glenville and them in the kickball game.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of like the MVP of like, if you had somebody mic'd up, you'd want to mic him up.
What? No, that's a fair ball. Shine.
Tell me it doesn't look like sunshine.
I know. I thought that too. I just didn't know if you guys knew who that was.
Tried to set up another sister in town right over there.
Yeah. You're going for the suburbs. You got to get the first one.
I was. You already had skyscrapers over here. You just need to set up a new suburb.
Yeah, that would have been a really good thing to mic up is that kickball game because there was a lot of good conversations there. I don't remember specifically what he did or didn't do in that game, but I could imagine he was comical.
I'm standing over there, I look away, turn back, and my coach is gone. I'm like, what the heck? It's all the way down here.
He's pretty nimble for an old guy, isn't he?
He is. Maybe not in the knees. He's kind of quick. Maybe you should do like the Olympic fast walking, Like those people are so
That's an Olympic sport?
yeah.
I don't know.
It's like speed walking or whatever, I don't know. But it's whack. I'm dead serious.